Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Query Solution. So children, in our today's session we are going to start with the structure of the cell, and basically in today's topic we are going to discuss more about plasma membrane. We are also going to see that how the movement of the molecules occur through the plasma membrane. So we are going to learn the concept of diffusion and osmosis. So even if you want to know all this into detail, do watch my video completely, and for now let us start up with our video. So children, whenever we talk about plasma membrane as the structure in a cell, first of all, it is found in both the types of cells. It is found even in animal cells. At the same time, it is found in plant cells too. But then in plant cell, there is one more membrane which is present, which is known as cell wall. So in the case of animal cells, children, this is the layer which is the outermost layer of any cell. And this is how the structure of any cell in general looks like. It has a central nucleus, it has a plasma membrane which is nothing but a covering, and it has the ground substance, a jelly-like substance which is present all inside the cell, which is known as a cytoplasm. So in our today's session, as we discussed, we are going to talk on the structure of plasma membrane. So when we talk about the structure of plasma membrane, children, now what is this membrane basically made up of? So it is actually a sandwich kind of a model. It's also known as a fluid mosaic model, which you will learn more in grade 11th, but not right now. So basically we can understand that this layer, outermost layer, when we talk about, it is basically a sandwich type of a layer which is there. So we all know when we talk about sandwich means we are talking about two bread slices, and in between we are talking about a filling, right? So this sandwich layer is nothing but a bilayer model or bilayer lipid layer basically. So the two bread slices that we are talking about is nothing but a lipid layer. In between there are integral proteins which are found, children. So what is the composition of a plasma membrane basically? It comprises of two layers of lipid, and in between those lipid layer there are integral proteins which are found in between the membrane. So this is what is the composition of the membrane. First of all, it is comprising of proteins along with lipid. Now when we talk about plasma membrane, children, we say that it is a membrane which is known as selectively permeable membrane. Now what do you mean by the term selectively permeable? Let me give you one good example of it, and also I will compare this with semi-permeable membrane. Let me clarify again, children. The plasma membrane which is there in our body is selectively permeable in nature. It is not semi-permeable in nature. So what is the difference between selectively permeable and semi-permeable? Many of the students are not clear with the difference, and you always write plasma membrane as semi-permeable membrane because I think that is what you people have learned in your previous grade. But when you talk about plasma membrane, children, it is definitely a selectively permeable membrane and not a semi-permeable membrane. Now what do I mean by saying this? Semi-permeable membrane, children, is a membrane that allows the movement of molecules based on pore size. So if this diagram I am drawing, you can see this is the space that I have left in between. That's nothing but a pore size of a membrane. A membrane can have holes, right? So those holes are nothing but the pore size that I am talking about. So as you can see in this diagram, children, this molecule, if it has to pass, it cannot cross the barrier because the size of the pore is smaller and the molecule is bigger. But this molecule can easily pass. Even this molecule can easily pass. So the membrane which allow the movement of molecule from a region A to region B, where the movement is defined by the size of the pore of the membrane. If the size is permitting, if the pore size of the membrane is allowing the movement to happen, then only the molecules will move. But the bigger molecules cannot move. So if a membrane allow the movement through the pore size, then that membrane is a membrane which is known as which membrane? Semi-permeable membrane. So what do we mean by saying the term selectively permeable? Selectively permeable means when the membrane selects the substances for its movement. Whatever substances it requires, it will take in. Whatever substance it does not require, it will take out. So there are many channels, children. Now again, we don't need to discuss all of them into detail, but yes, for an introduction with respect to grade 9, you should know that how plasma membrane selects the substances. So it selects the substances first of all based on its requirement. Secondly, there are channels basically which are there inside the cell, and through those channels the materials can easily pass through. So since the membrane is not allowing the movement based on pore size, but it is allowing the movement based on its requirement and selectivity. That's why we say plasma membrane is which membrane? A selectively permeable membrane, because it has the capacity to select the substances what it requires, does not allow the movement through the pore size. So it's not a semi-permeable membrane definitely, but is a selectively permeable membrane. So this was one more point of differentiation that I wanted to tell you with respect to selectively and the semi-permeable membrane. And generally children, when we talk about plasma membrane, what are its important functions? So the first important function children when it comes down to plasma membrane is it is the outermost layer of the cell, as you can see. So it maintains the shape of the cell. If this layer would not have been there, the shape would be disruptive. So it gives a proper shape. It maintains the cell shape. That's one of a function. The second important function children is that it isolates the content of the cell. Whatever is inside and whatever is outside, it does not allow the mixing of the content to happen. So the second important function is that it isolates the content, the cellular contents basically which are there in the cell. That's the second important function. The third important function children, that it allows the movement of the substances to happen, as we have discussed, based on the criteria of selectivity, not on the criteria of pore size. So the third important function is that it allows the movement of molecules to happen across the membrane, and how these movement occur we are going to talk in our next session. And thirdly, it also provides different signals. It receives different signals from the different body parts based on how the cell perform. So these are all the major important functions children when it comes down to structure of a plasma membrane. So what it is comprising of, it is a sandwich type of a model which contains two layers of lipids like the bread slices, and in between there is a filling which is nothing but of the integral proteins which are there. Okay. The nature of the membrane is what? It is selectively permeable in nature, not a semi-permeable membrane, and we have discussed already what is the reason behind it. And these are the major functions children with respect to plasma membrane. It helps in maintaining the shape, it isolates the cell content and allow the movement of molecules to happen along with the receiving signal property. Now in our next section children, we are going to see that how basically these movement of molecules occur through the plasma membrane. So we are going to talk on the concept of diffusion and osmosis. So these are the major point of differences children when we talk about the movement of molecules that occur through the membrane. So these molecule movement children can occur through two of the processes, as you can see over here. One of the process is known as diffusion, it's a physical process, and one of the process is known as osmosis. And I think everybody of you might have heard of these two terms, diffusion and osmosis, previously also. You may have questions children on how are these two processes similar or how are these two processes different. So in both of the way the questions may be asked to you, so do not get confused. There is a similarity between both the process as well as there is a difference as well. So let us first of all understand what are these processes all about. So when we talk about diffusion as a process children, as you can see, it's the process in which the movement of molecule occur from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. So as you can see, it's the movement of molecules that occur from an area of higher side in which they are more in number to the area where they are less in number. And this process of diffusion children can occur both in, it can occur in all states of matter, solid, liquid and gases. But when we talk about osmosis as a process children, first of all, this process when especially it occurs in our body, it is also the movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower area side. But it will occur always and in between through a membrane. Now that membrane can even be a selectively permeable membrane or a semi-permeable membrane. It entirely depends which membrane are we talking about. But there will be always a membrane placed into picture that will work in the concept of osmosis. But as you can see in the case of diffusion, I have not drawn any membrane. So that's one greatest point of difference children in terms of diffusion and osmosis. In diffusion, the movement will happen from higher concentration to lower concentration, but there is no membrane into picture. But when you talk about osmosis, it is the movement of molecules from an area of higher to lower concentration side, but through a semi or a selectively permeable membrane. Again, I am saying what membrane are you talking about, that will decide the nature. But it can definitely occur and there will be a membrane when we talk about the process of osmosis to happen. Also, we have seen that when we talk about a biological process happening or in a biological body, the diffusion can occur in all the states of matter. But when we talk about a body, the process of osmosis occur, and we are talking about the movement of molecules, the water molecules especially, or the solvent molecules from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. So let us see how this happens. Now I have A molecules over here in one part, A molecule similar on the other part maybe. And as you can see, the concentration of A molecule is higher on this side and it is lower on this side. So in which direction the molecules are going to move? From the area of higher concentration to the area of lower. And let me give you the best example for this this process, children. You daily used to use deodorants, right? We use perfumes, deodorants, sprays, right? What happens is we use deodorant in one of our room, but then after some time we see that the fragrance is spreading all across. You may feel this fragrance in other room as well. So how that has happened? There is no membrane between two rooms of yours, but the higher concentration was in the room where you have applied the spray, and the lower concentration, or there was no concentration of the molecules of deodorant in the other room. So the molecules basically travel from an area of higher concentration side to the area of lower concentration side without any membrane, and this is an example of diffusion. But when you talk about osmosis, children, it is the movement of water molecules, as I said to you, from an area of higher concentration side to an area of lower concentration side, but with the presence of a semi or a selectively permeable membrane. So as you can see in this process, also the movement will happen from higher to lower side, but the movement is guided by a semi-permeable membrane. And this can be studied through an example of a potato. Like even raisins, you can keep them in water, so the raisins will act as a semi-permeable membrane. You can use egg. You can also place egg in any solution like salt solution or something, that will act as a semi-permeable membrane. You can use potato and put it in sugar solution. Even the layers of potato will act as semi-permeable membrane. So whenever we talk about this process, children, we always talk about a semi-permeable membrane to happen in between. And that's the basic difference between the process of diffusion and osmosis, children. Diffusion can occur in all the states of matter. It will occur till the equilibrium is achieved, till the balancing in between the molecules occur on both the sides. At that time the diffusion process basically stops, and that's one of the reason that when the fragrance is spread in both the rooms, after that time the fragrance smell basically becomes stationary. We are no more able to see because the molecules are equilibrium on both the sides. But when we talk about osmosis as a process, children, it will happen in between and considering through a semi-permeable membrane. And when we talk about a biological body, then what is happening? The movement of water molecule is what we talk about. So this was the point of differences. What is similarity, children? First of all, as you can see, both are moving in an area from a higher concentration side to a lower concentration side. Also, children, this diffusion and osmosis both are passive processes, means these are the processes that will occur through the concentration gradient, the differences in the concentration, and there will be no investment of energy when you talk about these processes. Also, when you talk about osmosis, children, there are two types of processes under osmosis. One of the process is known as endo-osmosis and one of the process is known as exo. These such processes we do not see under diffusion. So exo-osmosis means what? The process which allows the exit of water molecule is exo-osmosis, and endo means the process which allow the entry of water molecule. So if the water molecules are coming inside the cell, it's known as endo. If they are going outside the cell, then the process is known as exo. So I hope you all are clear with the video. In case if you have doubt, as usual and always I say, put down your question in the comment section box. I'll be happy to help you out. And till then, let us meet in our next video. We'll explore the concept of tonicity in our next video. So by that time, keep studying. Be safe. Thank you so much.